But they came out with a report this week, the Heritage Foundation, just in time, just before they start debating and maybe getting ready to vote on this thing in the Senate. Conservative group claims reform will cost $6.3 trillion.
What? Where'd they pull that number? They pulled that
out of thin air.
Magic rabbit hat?
Just out of thin air. In the next 50 years. They have a crystal ball?
Really, I want to see the numbers on that. I want to see how they crunched the numbers.
Who knows what will happen in the next 50 years? Nobody has any idea what will happen or what will cost what.
People who crunch the numbers and prognosticators.
Yeah.
I mean, they're about as bad as predicting anything that's going to happen on Wall Street Day today. You can't even do that.
Jim DeMint.
Speculation. That's what it is.
Who used to be in Congress, now heads up the Heritage Foundation. He recently took over there. And he's a real winner. DeMint came out and says, well, it's simple demographics, folks. Unauthorized immigrants are more likely to lack high school education. So he's calling them dumbbells, idiots. And more than a third of households headed by unauthorized immigrants will be below the poverty line, meaning those households will consume more services than they pay taxes. Well, this is quite an assumption, isn't it? See, they're stupid. They're uneducated and they're stupid and they can't get a good job. So they're going to be making less. And because they make such little money, they're going to be consuming. They're going to be paying taxes. Yeah, they're going to be paying income tax and sales tax and every other kind of tax we all pay here in this country, so they'll be legalized. But they'll be consuming all these other programs to fill the gap. That's quite an assumption. From what we see about the Latino population, they're hard workers. They're survivors. And they're surviving right now, these illegals, without tapping into any of these programs because it's illegal to tap into these programs.
Mm-hmm.
Government does use
Despite what everybody
government does
says.
use E-Verify. You have to have a legitimate Social Security number to tap into welfare or food stamps or whatever. So they're surviving without it. And they will continue to survive.
But isn't the
without
consensus, though, that, Jeff, every time they hop the fence, they get all this stuff?
It's a total lie. It's totally bogus. We've cracked down on that. There's no way for them to do that. And even if they try, they put themselves in jeopardy, and they realize that.
Yep.
So this is quite an assumption that DeMint and this think tank, or stink tank at this point, is making. Now, what was their motivation for doing this? Well, former Mississippi Governor Haley Barbour, Republican, well, he says,
Haley Barbour.
Haley Barbour, he says something does stink about this study. He says the study is designed to try to scare conservative Republicans into thinking the cost of the immigration bill, will be so significant you can't possibly go for it. And that's their intention. They want to kill the bill. They don't want these Hispanics to become part of America. They don't want them becoming citizens. We got to dig a little deeper, folks. And we are. And we always do on this show. Well, the Heritage Foundation, who did this study? Who did this loony study, pulling these figures and these stupid assumptions out of thin air? It wasn't DeMint. DeMint's just the mouthpiece there.
Mm-hmm.
There was a co-author of this study, Jason Richwine, Heritage Foundation Senior Policy Advisor. And he was working on this report, saying it's going to cost $6.3 trillion over the next 50 years, as he looked into his crystal ball. Well, he came out in 2009 with a study saying Hispanics aren't as smart as whites, not as smart as Caucasians. They don't have the same IQ. They're stupid. And
nice.
Nothing can be done about it. Here's a quote from that 2009 study. No one knows whether Hispanics will ever reach the IQ as with whites, but the prediction that new Hispanic immigrants will have low IQ children and grandchildren is difficult to argue against. He's a bigot. And
Oh,
he's
that's the
motivated
epitome
by
of
his
bigotry.
by his racial discrimination against Hispanics. Obviously, he doesn't like them.
Oh yeah, it's
Views
dripping
them
with racism.
as a lesser person,
Yeah,
and
I'm
he
amazed he
thinks,
didn't decide to jump on black people at that point too.
well, yeah, that's a story for another day. I'm sure he would.
I'm just saying though. I mean, if he's gonna go that far, might as well go the full 9. That's
I'm
all I'm
sure
saying.
if we asked him about it, he'd say,
Well, they're just as stupid. But
so there's his motivation. I don't like these people. These people are stupid.
they're not pure.
They're not.
White
No,
people.
they're not white. There's no. Even if their kids are born here, they're still going to be less intelligent than the white kids born here, the Caucasians, and they're going to drag the country down. So I don't want them here. So I will phony up a story. I'll phony up a report saying that they're going to cost us over $6 trillion over the next 50 years to scare my fellow Republicans in Congress not to go for this. We just want around to